Well, hello there. My name is Brian James Pardinian, and this here is Group 1's presentation that talks about pictograph. After this video, you should be able to know who invented the pictograph, the ancient and modern uses of pictograph, the definition of pictograph in mathematics, as well as the procedure on how to make a pictograph. We will also provide you with some examples in order to better understand the topic. So just sit down, relax, and enjoy the video.
The earliest pictographs were used in Mesopotamia and predated the famous Sumerian cuneiforms around 3400 B.C.E. Archaeologists also discovered that pictographs were used as a writing system in ancient Egypt during the reign of a king from southern Egypt named Scorpion. The writing consists of hieroglyphic-like pictographs of animals, plants, and mountains found on ivory tags in a royal tomb at Abydos.
Ancient use of pictographs by Hanife Golani. A pictograph, as it may be termed, is often deemed an art form, but it can also, depending on the nature of the painted or drawn image, be regarded as a form of writing. In terms of ancient use, pictographs are associated with cuneiform and also hieroglyphics. Pictographs can be found in most regions of the world and date to the prehistoric period. A form of rock art, ancient pictographs typically adorn rock and sometimes clay surfaces. The symbols designated as pictographs range substantially from lines and swirls to people and animals. Ideas expressed through painting or illustration. A pictograph can tell historians quite a lot about ancient cultures.
Modern use of pictographs by Chester John Narcissa. Pictographs remain in common use today, serving as pictorial, representational signs, instructions, or statistical diagrams. Because of their graphical nature and fair realistic style, they are widely used to indicate public toilets or places such as airports and train stations. Because they are a concise way to communicate a concept to people who speak many different languages. Pictograms have also been used extensively at the Olympics since 1964. Sumerian Olympics are designed for each set of games.
Hi, I'm Naomi Monera. Today it will be defined what is pictograph. Pictograph is the representation of data using images. It represents the frequency of data while using symbols or images that are relevant to the data. This is one of the simplest ways to present statistical data. There are 4 advantages of pictograph. First, it expresses a large amount of information or data in a simple form. Second, since they make the use of symbols, pictograph attract attention. It is an attractive way to present data. Third, pictograph are easy to read since all the information is available at one glance. Lastly, since pictograph are universally used, they do not require a lot of explanation.
I am Paula Nicole Torres for the first step on creating a pictograph. A pictograph is a symbol or image used to represent an idea or data wherein these symbols and images are also relevant to the data being presented. To make a pictograph, first, you need to have a data to be collected regarding the category that you want to present. This is done through conducting surveys, interviews, experiments, and observations.
Hi, I'm Judy Lambo and I will discuss the second step and third step of making a pictograph. Pick a symbol. Choose a symbol or picture that accurately represents the data. The symbol must be clear, recognizable, and should be self-explanatory. For example, our data is about the number of oranges sold. If you use a symbol of a TV to represent the oranges, it will be confusing. Next is to assign a key. Some data have high frequency and one symbol can represent one frequency. You must set a numerical value that one symbol will represent. Like 1 orange symbol is equal to 20 oranges. We can also use fraction of a symbol to represent parts of a whole symbol.
The final step is drawing your pictograph. Draw the 2 columns that represent the category and the data. Then draw the actual symbols that represent the frequencies. Remember that the symbols can be drawn as fraction as well if the frequency is not a whole number. Last and finally, review your pictograph and make sure it correctly represents the information that you wanted to relay. Don't forget to check the labeling of your graph.
Pictograph example number 1 by Monami Franci Illustrissimo. The pictograph shows the number of eggs sold by a trader in 3 days. If the trader still had 115 eggs left after the 3 days, calculate the number of eggs he had at first. The oval shapes are to be multiplied to 25 since an oval shape is equivalent to 25 eggs. At Monday, he sold 75 eggs. At Tuesday, he sold 125 eggs. At Wednesday, he sold 100 eggs, which these products is to be added by the eggs remaining of 115, which will get a sum of 415. Therefore, the trader had 415 eggs at first.
I am Kala Nicole Mandihar and I'm going to provide another example of pictograph. So the pictograph below shows how students scored in last week's math test. So the question is how many students scored 95 or higher on the test. So students who get 95 marks is equal to 7 because each star is equivalent to 1 student. So we're just going to multiply 7 times 1 is equal to 7. Next is students getting 100 marks is equal to 5 because there are 5 students who get 5 stars and multiply it by 1 is equal to 5. Therefore, students getting 95 or above is equal to 12 students. We're just going to add the students who get 95 marks and 100 marks. So 5 plus 7 is equal to 12.